the ancient land of Caledon ruled King Aeneas and Queen Althea. Joy filled the palace when a son was born, Meleager, a child radiant with the blessing of the gods. Yet on the night of his birth, three mysterious women appeared by the hearth, the Morai or Fates. The first spoke softly, "He shall be brave." The second whispered, "He shall be noble." But the third, with a grave voice, declared, "Yet his life shall last no longer than the burning of that log upon the fire." Horrified, Queen Althea leaped forward, seized the log, and doused the flame. She hid it away in a chest, locking it beneath stone in prayer. "My son will live," she vowed, "as long as I guard this wood." Years passed, and Meleager grew into a mighty man, strong of arm, kind of heart, and unmatched in battle. One harvest season, King Aeneas offered grand sacrifices to all the gods, all except Artemis, the goddess of the hunt. Insulted, Artemis loosed her vengeance upon Caledon. From the shadows of the mountain came a monstrous boar, enormous with tusks like bronze spears, eyes of fire, and rage of divine fury. It tore the fields, slew cattle, and trampled our hearts, leaving famine and fear in its wake. Desperate, Aeneas cried out, "Who will rid us of this terror? Heroes of Greece, come to Caledon and earn immortal glory." From across the lands came champions, Theseus of Athens, Jason, Castor and Pollux, Peleus, Nestor, and many more. But among them came one whose presence stirred both admiration and disbelief: Atlanta, the swift-footed maiden of Arcadia. Atlanta was no ordinary woman. As a child, her father, disappointed to have a daughter instead of a son, had left her on a mountainside to die. Yet a she-bear sent by Artemis nursed her. Hunters later found her and raised her to be swift, fierce, and unyielding. She vowed never to marry and dedicated her life to the hunt. When she arrived at Caledon, many laughed. "A woman among heroes?" they mocked. But Meleager, seeing her, felt a spark of admiration and something deeper. "Let none speak ill of her," he said. "She is the daughter of the wild and the blessed of Artemis. She hunts as one born to the bow." His words silenced the jeers, and together they set out for the forest. The forest was silent when dawn broke. Dew glistened on the leaves, and the hunters fanned out. Suddenly, the ground trembled. The Caledonian boar charged through the thickets with a roar that shook the trees. Spears flew, arrows cut the air, but the monster was too swift, too furious. It gored Theseus, trampled each one, and scattered the rest. Then Atlanta knocked her arrow. Calm and aimed the chaos, she drew the bowstring back. The arrow flew and struck the beast beneath the air. Blood streamed down its neck. It roared in agony. Meleager seized his chance. He thrust his spear deep into the boar's heart, and the earth fell still. The hunters cheered. The curse was broken. When the hunt ended, Meleager called all together. "Friends," he said, "it was Atlanta's arrow that first drew the beast's blood. The honor of victory is hers." The men murmured, some in respect, others in scorn. Meleager's uncles, Plexippus and Taxius, were enraged. "You shame your house," Plexippus spat, "to give a woman the glory of heroes." Their words burned hotter than the fire. In fury, they tried to take the prize from Atlanta. Meleager's blood boiled, and he drew his sword. "Then take it by force if you can." Blinded by anger, he struck them both down where they stood. Silence fell. Blood stained the ground where the family had slain family. Far away in the palace, Queen Althea waited. When word came that Meleager had killed her brothers, her heart shattered. She loved her son, yet grief and rage were within her. All night she wept, pacing before the hidden chest. "He slew my brothers," she whispered, "my own blood, yet he is my son." But vengeance overpowered love. She drew out the old log, dry and brittle with years, and cast it into the fire. As the flames caught, Meleager, still in the forest, cried out in sudden pain. His strength failed, his limbs trembled. "Mother," he gasped, falling to the earth. As the log burned to ash, so did his life fade away. When Althea saw the fire's end, realization pierced her heart. Overcome with horror, she took her own life, unable to bear what she had done. When the news reached Atlanta, she was silent. She had not sought love, yet she mourned the man who had defended her honor and given her glory. She wrapped herself in the boar's hide, the trophy he had gifted her, and left Calydon without a word. Back into the wild forest, she went to the domain of Artemis, her goddess and protector. In time, stories of Atlanta's beauty spread across Greece. Princes and kings came to seek her hand. But she, remembering her freedom and the sorrow of Meleager, declared, "I will marry no man unless he can defeat me in a foot race. Those who fail shall die." Many tried, all failed, and all perished, until one day came Hippomenes, a clever youth favored by Aphrodite. The goddess gave him 3 golden apples from her sacred tree and whispered a plan. When the race began, Atlanta sped ahead, swift as wind, but Hippomenes tossed 1 golden apple aside. It gleamed in the sun, and Atlanta slowed. Enchanted by its beauty, twice more he did the same. In each time she paused. Hippomenes crossed the finish line first. Bound by her word, Atlanta became his wife. But they forgot to thank Aphrodite for her help. Offended, the goddess cursed them with wild desire. Overcome by passion, they entered the sacred temple of Cybele, the mother goddess, and lay together within. In anger, the gods transformed them into lions, condemning them to pull Cybele's chariot for eternity. And thus ended the tale of Atlanta, the swift-footed huntress, in Meleager, the doomed hero of Calydon, bound forever by love, pride, and the will of the gods.